Hello and welcome. My name is Nick. I'm with Barber Vintage Motorsports Museum, and today we're introducing a new segment called Warehouse Wednesdays, where in essence we're taking a motorcycle out of the warehouse and showing it to you. One of 400 motorcycles we store in our warehouse here that you don't see on the museum floor. I can't think of any better bike to start than this 1992 Honda CBR 600 F2. It's the successor to the 1987 Hurricane, and I think this bike is a definitive motorcycle for the early 90s super sport era. So Honda's CBR 600 was the dominant bike in the middleweight class. It is estimated that Honda sold over 50,000 600cc bikes from 1987 to 1993, making it the most popular and arguably the most influential 600cc sport bike ever made. The F2 had a fully redesigned engine. It was a liquid-cooled dual overcam engine with a 65 millimeter by 45.2 millimeter bore and stroke, so a little bit more over square than its predecessor. The new bike also featured a 34 millimeter flat side constant velocity carb versus the older model's 32 millimeter round slides. So this is a massive new improvement. Also had lighter pistons, crank and connecting rods. All of this allowed it to achieve an additional 500 RPM on the rev limiter, bringing it up to 13,000 RPM. The bike also had side-mounted air scoops that actually fed air underneath the fuel tank to cool and also weigh down the bike. It didn't actually at this time use it as a ramjet into the air box, which I guess could have been an additional improvement for the time. The new engine was shorter and narrower than the old model. This change, along with a shorter fuel tank, allowed for Honda designers to move the rider closer to the front wheel and improve handling. The bike also featured a new box section swing arm, a new twin spar steel design frame, and a 6-spoke RC30 style wheel. Much wider wheel in the rear, gave it a lot better handling. The bodywork also saw some redesign, from the jelly mold fairing of the Hurricane to this sleeker look while still maintaining that full fairing bike with great aerodynamics. Honestly, looking at this bike, it is that gap bike, right? So it really bridged the gap from the late 80s styled super bikes to the mid 90s style super bikes. It's a little bit shorter, a little bit flatter. Really was a defining design for its era, which you can see here also with that really strong red color. Really just tells you it's early 90s all the way. Well guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please be sure to check back in and see the next bike that we pull out for Warehouse Wednesday. Thank you.